Hi there, thanks for joining me today. I have a little book haul. It's not huge considering I was at my happy place. I was at my Kirby Church book sale yesterday. So I was very happy. It was their first Saturday open for the season. So if you're new here over the winter and you're new and this is all sounding like what's she talking about? It's a little old church up in a town north of me called Kirby. So yes, Jan, you're right. Because the Kirby Church book sale is my happy place, we decided to name our little pup Kirby after my happy place. I have many happy places. I should clarify that. I have many places that are my happy place, but the Kirby Church book sale is definitely one of my happy places. And it's a really old, a beautiful old church that couldn't be used anymore. They were hoping to donate it to the local pioneer village, but because of its proximity to the highway just kept getting closer and bigger and closer and bigger. And sadly, because of the proximity to the highway, because of exhaust fumes and salt, it's not worthwhile to move the church, because initially they were hoping to raise money by selling secondhand books in it and donate it and move it over to the Pioneer Village, because it really is a pretty little church. And the church, the congregation in Kirby combined with the congregation in another local town, Orono. And so they started using the Orono building as their meeting place, but they still owned the Kirby church. And so that's why when it was sitting there empty, they just started accepting book donations and just started selling books for $1 a book. And like I said, initially to raise money to move the church and put it into a local pioneer village that we have. Since that was not doable, the church is still usable. And it is full to the rafters with books. Just about everybody in the area knows if you're emptying out your cottage, your house, your parents' house, your great aunt who left you everything, and you're emptying her house, boxes and boxes and boxes of books arrive every week to this sale, and they gratefully accept them. And whether it's a big book or a little book or magazine, it's $1. And it's wonderful. And so now instead they donate the money that they raise to various local charities. I know for a while they were donating to what's going to be our new hospice. I'm not sure what the most recent local charity is that they're raising money for, but some very hardworking volunteers work in there. And I am there so much, I get a lovely hi when I walk in the door. To them, I'm known as the art lady, because they do know what I do with the books. But I think thanks to one of the volunteers, her daughter handles their Instagram account, and she started following what I do with the books that I purchase. And I think they very quickly realized that I do my best to honor these books, because I'm not afraid to take the sad worn out books that probably should be going to the fire heap or the recycle depot. So anyhow, let's see what I got. I spent $11, so you can tell from that how many books I got. These ones are plain. They're all the same, but you know me, I can have fun with a plain book. And they're not very big, but they're stories by English authors. And I guess this must be stories located in London. And then stories located in Italy, France, and then of course I had to grab this one, Ireland. Oh, I'm not even in the center. There we go. So, you know me, a plain cover is like a blank slate, and I can really enjoy a plain cover, putting a beautiful piece of artwork on it and a book plate. This is a nice size for a journal. Let's see what the size is. These are just a nice little book. So not quite 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 by, if you hear crunching in the background, by almost 3/4. Kirby's munching on some kibble. My Kirby. So that's why whenever I call my dog, I smile for many reasons besides being Kirby. So I'm looking forward to doing these, and although sometimes I often near the end rue the day that I do it to myself, I think I will make all 4 of these at the same time, and that can be kind of fun. Make each one a little bit different, but a little bit similar, and then just it's one of the rare times, usually happens like once, maybe twice a year, where I'll have more than one book in my Etsy shop. Otherwise, if you've been hanging around me for a while, you know my Etsy shop spends most of the year empty, except when one book will show up. But you know what? It's because I do it, I just enjoy it. Now these are, although they're in lovely condition, they are, they're still old. Isn't he wonderful? Look at him. Oh, he's just wonderful. 1903. So, I think they're all 1903. I think they did them all. Oh, he's got snazzy glasses. I had glasses like that for a while. 1903. One of them's got a little bit of, it's a little chewy along the bottom. You know we work with that. That's just a challenge looking to be answered. Oh, he's dashing and dapper looking. He's a historical hottie. I like a mustache on a man. 1903. So there we go. France. They had a few more of these from other areas of the world. These were the ones that sort of spoke to my heart. So certainly England and Ireland is where my ancestors came from. Oh, he looks like you'd want him to be, you know, your favorite uncle. Yeah, 1903, Ireland. There's a story in there called The Banshee. Oh my. I might have to read that one. So I got those 4, so they $1 each. The next one, you might think, why on earth did you buy that hideous looking book? But like I said, a hideous looking book doesn't scare me. It's a challenge. And this is pretty hideous looking. But I figured even if only for one reason, and you'll see when we get inside, I had to have this book for $1. It's certainly falling apart up here. It is Forster's Life of Charles Dickens, Volume 1. So it's been sun bleached in several ways. So it was obviously on a desk, and another book must have been on it like that, I guess. Because it looks like this was the original color. And see what I mean? It's just, it's sad, but it's a challenge. I mean, I may even, so far, it doesn't feel too bad. Like this isn't, it doesn't feel too bad. And I may even be tempted to try painting it. We'll see. Because the title itself doesn't, I don't care about that title. And you'll see why in a second. But it's still, look at how the ink must have had acid in it, because it's left an imprint on the tissue on the other side. That's a nicer portrayal of Charles Dickens than this one that we see so often. So it looks like Charles Dickens was also a historical hottie in his younger years. I just love knowing that his family lived around the corner from my family at one point, right before it was his, when he was younger. And it was just before his father got thrown in the workhouse for debt, for unpaid debts. They were literally houses away from where my great whatever grandparents, from where their house was, where they also were crammed with about 11 children into a tiny little house in London. This book is, it's old, 1872. So it is old, which tells me, like I said, there's one thing inside that I thought, even if I just buy it for $1 for the one thing, I wanted it. Because of course you always have to look and see if somebody has hidden their life savings inside the book. One day. Where is it? There. This. And I'm not even sure what it is, but I like it. (1842), so it's a reprint of something. New York, January 28th, 1842. Love all the signatures. So, I wanted that. And this is the kind of thing I am quite tempted to scan and copy. We'll see. And like I said, this book, whether it becomes a journal or not, I'm not sure, but I wanted that fold out. Now the next books I already have a few of, but I only treated myself to them because at first they weren't going to sell them. Last year, they were reselling 4 on behalf of someone who wanted to sell them as a set. Well, they weren't selling because this person was hoping for $500, and they weren't budging. And so then I think they lowered them to $20 per book, and I wasn't going to jump at that. And then they lowered it to, see, I'm still guessing, I'm still trying to reach into my memory, and I do think they lowered them to about $4 per book. That I didn't mind. And so when I arrived there today, one of the ladies came up to me and she said, "You know those old books that you love?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "The gentleman just donated them, so they're going for $1 a book." So I was able to get Oliver Twist. They're huge, I know, but you know I love a big book. And I love Oliver Twist. This is one of the few books. There are very few books that literally make me cry while I'm trying to read them, and Oliver Twist was one of them. The other one was A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. I know there were a couple more books that just made me sob while I was reading them. Oh, Marley and Me made me sob, but I was also not only sobbing because of the dog, I was sobbing because I was mad at the owners. But I made the mistake of taking it with me on a cruise, and there I was up on the pool deck in the shade, completely covered up, because I like looking at the sun, but I don't like being out in the sun. And there I was, made the mistake of reading Marley and Me and bawling my eyes out. A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. Oh my goodness, that one gets me every time. Every time. So this one, and I have these ones, I was able to get A Christmas Carol and Other Stories by Charles Dickens, because this is a series of Dickens books that they had, that he wanted to sell the entire collection in one piece. And look at this. They just weren't in good enough condition that anyone would want them. But such beautiful little etchings. How pretty is that? 1874. Isn't that just lovely? But it is falling apart. It's going to take quite a bit of love to make it strong again, but we can do it. And I wouldn't even touch that. I would use a blow dryer to get this tape off. Somebody's tried to use tape to put that back together, and we'll work on that. But it's lovely. There are several illustrations throughout. Paper isn't bad in these books, especially for 1874. And I can't help it. I really love making a big junk journal. And I know that it makes things hard for everyone because it's costly for me to create a big junk journal, which means it's costly to sell. But on the other hand, I consider it, this is art that I make. So part of me, if it sits there, it sits there, I guess, is the way I look at it. I just love making a beautiful big book. And these are big. I mean, this is 1.5. That's big. Now that weighs more than it will weigh when I'm done with it, because I never 8 7/8. A junk journal, the pages will probably be like 5 3/4, but with the curve in the spine, it comes out to 6 1/4. It will weigh less, because even the big books, the cost involved in selling, a lot of that is the shipping. To ship a big, fully packed junk journal, again, is costly. And some of them, when we get to them, I may have to try and control myself and make them naked and let the next owner fill them. And maybe that would also, but it's so hard to just let them be naked. See, these are just falling apart. They're so big. I can't. I guess I can try and lift up a bit. Hold on. Okay. This one, the text block, I believe, is in 2 pieces there. It's just falling apart. But again, not moldy, so that's nice. It's got the smell I love. The paper itself feels nice, which I love because it makes it reusable. Look at those cute illustrations. Like, oh my goodness. How cute. Oh, I can't wait. Sketches by Boz. Because that's the name he used, right? When he was writing smaller little pieces for like newspapers and little magazines and that. I believe it was his alias that he also used. 1874. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe that's Dickens referred to himself as Boz. He just loved unusual names like Martin Chuzzlewit, that sort of thing. Twist, Oliver Twist. So, like I said, I already have a few of from these series that I treated myself to when they were asking $4, and I thought, okay, $4, I would pay $4. And I specifically got the Christmas one, but I also got a few others that I think I got the Pickwick Papers, and because I love a fun title. So the next books are in lovely condition, but again, they're not precious. So these ones are all Robert Louis Stevenson, and I mostly picked them. They were all in very nice condition, so I chose the titles that I think make for a fun journal, like New Letters. That's just that's a fun title. This spine needs nothing done to it to make it. I would be gilding the lily to try and do anything more wonderful to this spine than just leave it as is, with that beautiful gold and the banding and its leather and the marbled paper. Like, look at this. Oh, so nice. There's the man himself. I guess there are those who would say he was a historical hottie, but he's not. I like the younger Dickens, little more my kind of fella. 1912. So still, 111 years old. So still old. Paper is beautiful paper. Just really, really nice. It's got a bit of a tooth to it, which I love. And I love the deckled edge. And these are all just, they really are letters that I guess he wrote. Other people, I guess they saved their letters that they received from him. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look into. I'm going to have to wiki this and find out why there were so many letters. Mind you, I suppose someone who enjoys writing would enjoy writing letters. So, hence, letters too. And again, just the gorgeous marbled paper. And although it says here copyright 1899, these were reprinted, and it was 1905. This one is 1905. Yeah, Robert. That's quite, oh, you got a little soul patch happening there, Robert. My goodness, I still love these. You can make a beautiful faux cabinet card with that, which I will be doing. This one, of course, is also letters number 1. I guess I did them in the wrong order. But again, just that gorgeous marbled paper with the gold. Oh, yum. Let's see what year this one is. Ah, ooh, he's glaring right at the camera. Robert, 1905. Letters to his family and friends. Again, really, really nice paper. And not moldy, which is again nice too, which in a way I've often wondered, but it's obviously must be a pretty solid little church. It has no heating or air conditioning in it, which is why they close down in the wintertime, because it's not warm in there. And it made me wonder about how do they not have to deal with humidity, because both floors are filled with books. They literally have books filling all the old pews of the church, and some handy person has built an extra shelf that lays across the arms of the pews so they can fit books under and then books on the upper shelf, and they can fit twice as many books on the pews. Let's see what picture they put of him in this one. Where are you, Robert? Oh, it must be. Oh, it's a lovely home. I guess it's his home. Which one is this? Oh, Sketches, Criticisms, etc. That's a great title for a journal. So again, beautiful paper, deckled edge, nice texture to it. It's just really, really nice. What year? What year? 1905. I love the red with the dark. So that's our 11 books. That's how I spent my $11 today. And I thought I did very well, because I have had, in my earlier days of going up there, it's been a few years now, I have sometimes walked away with several bags full of books. Full of books. Back when I was starting to collect like bug books and wildflower books, and I have lucked into quite a few Edith Holdens up there. There are a few things that I always go looking for first. I always check the shelf for Edith before anything else, and either Edith, any of the Ediths, so the Nature Notes or the Edwardian Diary, or an Edwardian Lady, not the Edwardian Diary, you know the one I mean. I'm staring at it on my shelf, but my vision's so poor I can't read the title. The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. And then her biography, The Edwardian Lady. It's a good one to grab too, because there's beautiful old photographs in it. So there's my book haul. I think I did great. How's that? Let's show at least one of those beautiful leather ones. So I think I did really well, and I don't need any more books. As if that's going to stop me. So I'm going to try and find room for these. My brown shelf is just about full. My green shelf has room for 2 more green books. At least this part. For some reason, my green shelves got split up, and one's beside me and one's at the other end of the wall. Anyhow, I'm rambling on, and you can't see what I'm looking at, so I don't know why I'm taking up your time with such nonsense. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed looking through these beautiful old books. I'm so pleased I was able to get 11 books, all of them over 100 years old, and all of them, it's really such a thrill to be excited about creating a book and getting my brain going, especially these 4 little guys. I'm looking forward to having fun with them. I may have to Kelly the cover, as I like to say now, when Kelly from Book and Paper Arts, when she'll do like a beautiful banner of old handwriting and then a clever looking collage of maybe a lady and a bird looking at each other, or a big flower, and that sort of thing. Like, I may have to Kelly the cover. We'll see. Take care. Have a great rest of your day, and we will talk soon. Bye.